Okay, if you had to guess, without looking at your phone, what do you think your screen time is at so far today? I'll give you a second to think. Now that you've made your guess, go look. How close were you? Are you surprised at all? In today's digitally connected world, we can't deny that our phones have become a huge part of our daily lives. From shopping on Amazon to seeing what our friends are up to on Instagram, our phones have revolutionized the way we interact with the world. The amount of time we spend in front of screens is going up every single year. In 2019, the average screen time was 2 hours and 56 minutes. In 2021, it was 4 hours and 12 minutes. And in 2023, we're inching towards nearly 7 hours on average of screen time every single day. In 2020, there was a survey done asking people what they'd be willing to sacrifice in order to keep their cell phones. And they found that 40% of the people that they surveyed said that they give up their dogs before giving up their cell phones. A similar study was done where 33% of people would rather give up sex than give up their phones. So naturally, after reading these statistics for myself, I was curious about my own screen time. I nervously decided to look, and I was averaging around 5 hours and 30 minutes on my phone every single day. While smartphones make life way more convenient and have become essential to our personal and professional lives, the insane amount of time spent on these devices has raised concerns about physical health, mental well-being, and productivity. Excessive screen time has been linked to issues like sleep disturbances, reduced physical activity, eye strain, and even increased risk of mental health problems. Also, studies show that always being connected to our phones can increase feelings of anxiety and depression. Smartphones are designed to be addictive. If you saw my video on doing a dopamine detox, you'll remember that social media companies use intermittent reward schedules to exploit dopamine in our brains. Apps like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok are intended to keep us engaged as much as possible by giving us little random surprises, also known as notifications. Dopamine isn't the only chemical that's keeping us glued to our phones though. Cortisol, most commonly known as the stress hormone, also plays a role. Researchers at Iowa State University have identified a condition called nomophobia, which literally means no mobile phone phobia. Yeah, that's a real thing. It describes the feeling of stress that can happen when we're separated from technology for too long. Nomophobia is actually multiple phobias in one: the fear of not being able to connect with people, the fear of losing our overall connectedness, the fear of not being able to access information, and the fear of being inconvenienced. Clinical psychologist Christina Hallett says it's essentially FOMO, or the fear of missing out, in overdrive. She said taking a break from social media, messaging, or email can prompt feelings of anxiety and concern that we are missing the most important interactions. So in response to this, both Apple and Android have taken huge steps to implement digital well-being features into their devices, giving us the ability to see how long we spend on our phones and limit the amount of time we spend on our phones. By taking steps to reduce your screen time, you'll increase your productivity, be able to focus more, and probably sleep better too. While there's no magic bullet for instantly getting rid of smartphone addiction, here are 5 tips that I've personally implemented to reduce my screen time and focus on other things that are more important. Also, I'm going to be going over how to do this on iPhone and Android. Tip number 1. Use a screen time widget. The purpose of having a screen time widget on your home screen is to try and increase awareness. A lot of the times I think we underestimate how much time we actually spend on our phones or scrolling through Facebook and Instagram. Kind of like when we nervously go look at our bank account balance after we realize we spent over $300 over the weekend. We probably won't be going out for a while after that. And it can be a similar effect when we see how much time we're wasting being on our phones all the time. It also allows us to see when we make progress. If last week our average screen time was 6 hours and 22 minutes, and this week it's 3 hours and 10 minutes, that can give us the motivation to continue to make progress and use our phones even less. So if you want to add a screen time widget to your home screen, for iPhone, tap and hold on your home screen, hit the plus button, type in screen time, find the size you want, and hit add widget. For Android, tap and hold on your home screen, tap the widgets button, scroll down to digital well-being, long press the widget, and move it it to your home screen. Tip number 2, set an app limit. App limits let you set daily time limits for certain apps or app categories like social apps, games, entertainment, or a bunch of other stuff. Try to set a good but realistic goal for your app limit. If you see on your screen time widget that you average a total of 3 hours a day on Instagram, don't try to cut it down to 20 minutes right away. Maybe try limiting it to an hour and a half for the first week and go from there. The goal isn't to completely cut you off from social media. It's to help take better control of mindlessly going on social media because of habit or boredom. To set an app limit on your iPhone, go to Settings, and in the search field, type App Limit, tap Add Limit, and choose either the entire category or just certain apps. Hit Next, set your time, and hit Add. To set an app limit on an Android, open Settings, tap Digital Wellbeing, tap the chart, choose the app you want to limit, tap Set Time or the hourglass, choose how much time you want to spend on the app, and tap Set. Tip number 3, apps. One of the main apps that I recommend is an app called OneSec, which is available on Android and iPhone. Essentially, OneSec is an app that delays access to other apps that you may impulsively open. When you try to open an app like Instagram, it automatically opens the OneSec app and makes you take a deep breath. Then it asks you if you really want to open the app. The idea behind this app is 2 things. The first is that it checks your impulsiveness. When you tap an app like Facebook or Instagram, a lot of the time we're just doing it out of habit. With OneSec, it forces you to take a few seconds to think if you really want to go on Instagram because you need to, or because you just clicked it because you were bored. The second reason is because of a thing called friction. In his book, Atomic Habits, James Clear says, reduce the friction associated with good behaviors and increase the friction associated with bad behaviors. When friction is high, habits are difficult. When friction is low, habits are easy. When we're adding a wall between the bad habits and us, it makes it easier to break that bad habit. I don't remember where I saw this, but it was somewhere on Twitter or Instagram, but I read something that said, imagine if you're trying to eat healthier, but every time you wanted to check the fridge for a snack, you had to open a padlock. You'd probably check it less, right? The same goes for your phone. This also applies to everything else in your life. When you're trying to create good habits, try to limit the amount of friction between you and that thing. And when you're trying to break bad habits, try to add friction. For example, if you want to work out first thing in the morning, have your clothes ready to go the night before. And if you want to break a bad habit like eating cookies, simply make sure there are no cookies in your house. That way, if you really, really want cookies, you'll have to go to the store to get them. Step number 4, go gray. This is something that significantly reduced my overall screen time usage. From doing this, I went from over 5 hours of screen time one day down to 3 hours the next day. And it's as simple as changing your phone from color to grayscale. The idea behind this comes from another James Clear Atomic Habits quote, which is make it unattractive. We're more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying, and we're less likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is painful. Now, although making your phone grayscale isn't painful, it does make it less attractive. Being in grayscale mode makes social media feel less fun. Colors play such a huge role in distinguishing feelings. Yellow is optimistic and fun, red is urgent and energizing, and blue is trustworthy and gives the feeling of security. Social media uses these colors to get us to engage and buy. When we go gray, it makes everything less enticing, and because of that, we're less likely to be so stimulated by our phones. To go grayscale for iPhone, go to Settings, then tap Accessibility, then tap Display and Text Size, scroll down and tap Color Filters, switch color filters on, and select grayscale. For Android, open your phone settings app, tap Digital Wellbeing and Parental Controls, tap Bedtime Mode, turn on Bedtime Mode, and in Android 13 and later versions, tap Customize, Screen Options at Bedtime, and turn on grayscale. Step number 5, make it a game. Gamification is something that really interests me. It's this idea that by incorporating game-like elements like points, rewards, levels, and feedback systems, it can make habit building stick and make it more enjoyable. There's an app called Forest that plants a tree seed, and by staying off of your phone, it makes the tree grow, but by exiting the Forest app and going to another app, it'll make the tree die. You can connect with friends and family on this app where you can see whose forest is bigger, basically who's been spending less time on their phones. This creates a sense of achievement and accountability that will help you focus on the things that you really want to focus on. They've also partnered with Trees of the Future to have you plant real trees through using this app. It's really awesome. So there you have it. Those Those are 5 things that you can do to decrease your phone screen time and spend more time doing important things. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe, hit like, and also hit that bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video, and comment down below what you originally thought your screen time was versus what it actually is. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.